When your cat sleeps next to you, do you really know what they're trying to tell you? Sure, it looks cute. But beneath that cozy little routine, there's a much deeper message most people completely miss. In fact, it may be one of the most emotionally meaningful things your cat does, and when people misunderstand it, they can miss signals their cat has been giving them for years. So let's start with what that bedtime ritual actually means. First, it was never just about warmth. A lot of people assume the answer is obvious. Cats like warm places. You're warm. Mystery solved. But that explanation falls apart pretty quickly when you think about it. Cats are experts at finding heat. They can stretch out in a patch of sunlight, curl up on a laptop, sleep near a radiator, or claim a pile of fresh laundry like it belongs to them. If warmth were the only goal, they would have plenty of choices. So why do they keep choosing you? Because sleep is when a cat is most vulnerable. Every instinct in their body tells them to rest somewhere hidden, somewhere protected, somewhere nothing can sneak up on them. And yet, instead of picking the quietest corner in the house, they walk right past all those options and climb into bed with a human much larger than they are. That is not about temperature. That is trust. Real trust. The kind of trust many owners never fully appreciate. Research in animal cognition has shown that cats can form attachment styles with their humans that are strikingly similar to the way infants bond with caregivers. So when your cat chooses to sleep beside you, they're saying something powerful without making a sound. I feel safe enough with you to let my guard down completely. And that matters. Also, if your cat ever suddenly stops sleeping with you, don't dismiss it as random. That change can mean more than people realize. And we'll come back to that later. Second, your cat isn't just lying near you. They're mixing their scent with yours. If you've ever noticed your cat rubbing their head or body against you before settling down, that's not just affection in a cute form, it's communication. Cats have scent glands on their cheeks, forehead, and near the base of the tail. When they rub against you, they leave behind invisible scent markers. But when they sleep pressed against you night after night, they're doing something even more meaningful. They're blending their scent with yours. In cat social groups, shared scent helps identify who belongs, who is familiar, and who is safe. It's part of how cats create a sense of family. So when your cat curls up against you at night, they're reinforcing that bond again and again. In their world, you're not just nearby, you're part of their circle. Third, where your cat chooses to sleep around you matters more than most people think. A cat stretched across your chest, tucked against your legs, curled by your head, or resting just a little distance away on the edge of the bed may all be expressing trust. But not in exactly the same way. Cats are incredibly precise about space. They don't just choose a sleeping spot because it feels good in the moment. They choose positions that help them balance safety, awareness, and connection all at once. A cat near your feet may want contact while still keeping a wider view of the room. A cat by your head may be drawn to your scent and breathing, which are some of the strongest signals your body gives off during sleep. A cat pressed against your side may be choosing the highest level of physical closeness they feel comfortable with, and a cat who sleeps nearby but not directly touching you should not be seen as distant or less attached. In many cases, that small gap is actually part of what makes the sleep possible. Your cat may want to stay connected to you without giving up their ability to move easily, monitor the room, or regulate their own comfort. That's still trust. In fact, for some cats, it's a very sophisticated form of trust. They are not choosing between affection and independence. They are combining both. This is why people often misread their cat's sleeping behavior by using human standards. We tend to think closeness only counts if it looks obvious, dramatic, or physically clingy. But cats don't usually communicate that way. Their version of intimacy is often quieter and more deliberate. It shows up in repeated choices. The same side of the bed, the same zone near your body, the same pattern of settling near you after checking the room. Over time, those choices tell a story. They show that your presence has become part of the environment your cat trusts enough to sleep in deeply. And that's a big deal, because sleep is never casual for a cat. Even in a safe home, their nervous system is still built from the instincts of both predator and prey. That means true rest only happens when the body believes the situation is secure enough. So when your cat keeps returning to sleep near you in a specific way, they may be showing you exactly how they feel safest with you, not just that they like being near you, but how they prefer to be near you when they are at their most unguarded. And once you start noticing those patterns, your cat's bedtime behavior stops looking random. It starts looking like a map of comfort, trust, and relationship. And this is where many owners miss the biggest signal of all when the pattern changes. If your cat has slept next to you for months or even years and suddenly stops, that shift is worth paying attention to. It does not always mean something is wrong, but it is almost never meaningless. Cats are creatures of pattern when they repeat a behavior over and over, especially one tied to rest, safety, and closeness. That behavior becomes part of how they organize their relationship with you. So when that pattern disappears, your cat may be reacting to a change in the environment, a change in their body, or a change in how safe and comfortable the bedtime routine feels. Sometimes the reason is simple. The room got warmer. You started moving more in your sleep. There is a new blanket, a new scent, a new person, or a new pet changing the emotional atmosphere of the space. But sometimes the reason goes deeper. Pain, illness, stress, aging, or sensory changes can all affect where a cat chooses to rest. A cat with joint discomfort may stop jumping onto the bed. A cat feeling unsettled may choose a more hidden location. A cat who suddenly becomes more distant at night may be telling you something long before obvious symptoms appear. That is why it helps to notice not just whether your cat sleeps with you, but how they do it, when they do it, and whether that pattern stays stable over time. The goal is not to panic over every change. The goal is to understand that your cat's sleep choices are part of their communication. They may be quiet, but they are not random. And when you start seeing them that way, something shifts in how you respond. Instead of asking, "Why is my cat acting differently?" you start asking, "What changed in their experience of this space? This routine, or this body?" That question is much more useful and much more respectful of how cats actually communicate. Because in the end, when your cat sleeps next to you, they are not just picking a comfortable place to spend the night. They are making a statement about trust, familiarity, shared scent, and emotional safety. They are choosing to be vulnerable in your presence. They are placing you inside their safe world, and that choice, repeated night after night, may be one of the clearest signs of connection your cat can give. So the next time your cat curls up beside you, do not reduce it to a cute habit or a search for warmth. Look a little deeper. Notice the position, the pattern, the consistency, the quiet intention behind it, because your cat may be telling you something beautiful without ever making a sound. And once you learn how to read that message, you may never look at bedtime the same way again.